I like it. You're early.
Yeah, I can wait if you need me.
No, we can go ahead and start. Do you want to do opening comment or go straight to
We
questions?
can go straight. Does that work?
That's what everybody's been doing. But I like to give options.
No, all good.
Okay, we are ready to begin. We will go ahead and take questions. If you have one, please raise your hand and we will get a mic to you. Very back.
Good afternoon, Matt. Sheldon Nichols at the Advocate in Baton Rouge. At this point in the preseason, where are you right now? And are you right where you want to be with, I guess, a couple of weeks ago until the first game, or do you still have a lot of work to do?
Yeah, Sheldon, great to see you. Hopefully we're a little further along. We had the opportunity to go to the Bahamas this summer. We got those 10 days of practice. I thought that was really important for us, not so much from an offensive or defensive standpoint, but just building the relationships within the team. As you know, it was important for us to use the transfer portal in the spring to really bring some stability to our roster, and really pleased with what we were able to do there and the 6 guys we signed from the portal. I think we were able to bring in guys who have proven they can play at a high level, all came from winning programs where they were really well coached. And then we've talked about some of the Louisiana ties and the pride that they'll take in getting to represent their state university at LSU. So with all that said, I think as a coach, you're never where you want to be, but I'm really pleased with where we're at. And I know our guys are anxious to get to these scrimmages and exhibition games to get to play against some other competition.
Hey, Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. After 1 year in the SEC, kind of what's your take on the league? There's several teams that are ranked. I think SEC's got more teams in the preseason polls than any other than any other league, and teams are receiving votes. And I know you guys obviously have high expectations. Just what's your take on the league, and is it even better than maybe you thought it was before you got in it?
Yeah, everything I thought it would be. You're talking about the Hall of Fame coaches in the league. You're talking about a league that's had more NBA draft picks than any other conference in the country over the last 4 years. I think I learned a lot from a basketball standpoint, a lot of unique styles in the league. As you look in this new era, it's so hard to project where everyone's going to finish. We have some teams in our league who were really good last year and return a lot off those teams. You have some teams that were really good, had their players move on to the NBA, and then had great success either in high school recruiting or through the portal. So it's an unbelievable league. It's really, for me, something I'm excited that we were able to replenish our roster this spring, and looking forward to the new challenge this year.
Kind of piggybacking on that, were you surprised by anything last year that you saw in the league?
No, it wasn't surprised, Sheldon. During my time at Murray State, had played the majority of the league, through the guarantee games and all that. Coach Pearl came and played at Murray State while I was there, so knew how good the league was, knew the elite talent. So a couple of things that maybe stood out: the rim protection in the league, just unbelievable. The ability to protect the basket with shot blockers. I think the length and athleticism defensively. Some people might say last year the league didn't shoot the ball very well. I would argue it was because of the elite defensive personnel and schemes of the programs.
Zach Gagan with Kentucky Sports Radio. Coach, why did you all target Damian Collins in the portal, and what do you think he'll bring to your team this year?
Yeah, I love Damian Collins. You're talking about a guy, McDonald's All-American, top 20 player in the country coming out. At Kentucky, obviously very well coached there by Coach Cal, played behind a guy who was pretty good in Oscar. And I think for Damian, it's about playing with great confidence. I think he learned a lot in his 2 years there, but you're talking about someone just loaded with talent. 6'9.5", 7'5" wingspan, 40-plus inch vertical, Great young man, really wants to be coached and wants to be good. A little bit more skilled than I anticipated coming in. He has really nice touch around the basket. And again, needs the minutes. Hasn't played a whole lot these last 2 years. But I'm incredibly excited about the opportunities ahead for him.
James Fletcher from On3. Coach, I think you might have a little bit of a unique perspective on this, having coached John Morant and found him obviously in the way that's been documented. When you look at two players, a transfer who is more of a proven commodity and a high school player who's more unheralded, does it ever creep into the back of your mind, like your past experience landing guys like that and having success when you're trying to make that decision on which guy to add to the roster?
Well, I think so. I think we as coaches have to continue to evolve and adapt in this new era. When I'm recruiting a transfer portal player, for example, I can no longer evaluate him as a 17-year-old high school senior. We have to evaluate him based on his body of work in college. And we wanted to, with the situation we were in, needing to get stability on our roster, get some proven production, the portal made a lot of sense for us. We have 7 of our 13 guys are in their 4th or 5th year of college playing this game, so we wanted to get older faster. I think that has enabled us to get our roster to stable ground where we can now recruit the best high school players in the country, especially now that the NCAA sanctions and penalties have been served, and those are in the past. So I think from the high school aspect, we still have a formula that we like to follow. There are certain traits that we're looking for in the players we recruit. And now, through the use of the portal this spring, I think we're well positioned to recruit at a really high level from the high school ranks in the class of 24 and 25.
Matt, kind of a two-part question. You mentioned the penalties. Other than the losing a scholarship again next year, has everything been completed? Yeah,
we served all those penalties in year one from that previous investigation. So, it was a challenging year, Sheldon. I know you and I have discussed it at great length, but I'm not one to really live in the rearview mirror. We're moving forward. I think it is great to have clarity on that NCAA situation, that's all in the past, and we're able to now move the program forward. So, really excited to be able to do that. And
you were picked yesterday to finish 13th. How do you feel about it? I think I know how you feel, but is it kind of crazy to wait to try to pick those things?
Well, I think it's, I admire the media that has to try and make those projections in today's college basketball, because you don't know the rosters as well as you may have 5, 10, 20 years ago. But I've never been one to really put a lot of stock in the preseason rankings. Been fortunate to be picked at the top. Would rather be there than picked near the bottom. Some players, maybe use that as motivation. I don't know. It's not something I pay any attention to. I'm sure if you asked every player in this league, there are 14 really talented teams in this league. All 14 probably have the same goal. They want to go to the NCAA tournament, and they want to advance and do all these great things. I think it's more important for us to focus in on the daily processes of building the habits, of taking all these different pieces we have and build them together into a team and create the buy-in that winning will require this year.
You didn't put it on the bulletin board yet?
No, I didn't even know about it until you told me an hour ago.
Any more questions? Okay, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks so much.